Cheers, guys. Epix911. Welcome to the Elitist Geek, and I would say a pretty good day because I did a little upgrade on my machine. So you guys know, anybody who's following me, gaming's my hobby. Some people play golf, right? And they spend thousands of dollars on golf, thousands of dollars on golf clubs, thousands of dollars on memberships. I don't play golf. I'm a gamer. So I spend my money on gaming, and it can come across as ludicrous, particularly to people who don't understand the hobby, until I remind them, well, what do you like to do? Is it free? And unless it's walk in nature trails, it's probably going to cost you something, right? So there we go. We each have hobbies. We each have things we're willing to spend on. So I had two R290s Crossfire. Now, it's these behemoth cards. Like, don't they look obnoxious and obscene? They really do, in my opinion. So these are Gigabyte R9 290s. Crossfire was the first, put it this way, this was the first SLI/Crossfire system that I was absolutely disappointed in. I cannot think of one game where I actually benefited from Crossfire mode. More often than not, they were buggy in Crossfire, flickering graphics, slower in Crossfire. Don't ask me, but there's actual games where the performance went backwards, like GTA 5, perfect example. And I had used Crossfire in the past, but admittedly had been mostly an Nvidia SLI guy because, you know, before these R9 290s, I had two 660 Ti's, and they were awesome. SLI actually worked as advertised, and unlike this, more often than not, it helped to have the cards running in SLI. Anyways, that machine over there has a 7970. So continuing the hand-me-down tradition, one of these R9 290s is going to become the gaming card in my secondary gaming rig. I will free that 7970 up for a friend, and then I will have another R9 290 for something. I haven't figured it out yet. Maybe, you know, maybe I'll do a giveaway or something on this one. Well, we'll see. We'll figure it out. But anyways, you're probably wondering what I replaced it with. Well, let's just say I got really lucky, but I replaced it with one of these. This is a GeForce EVGA Founders Edition 1080. Comes with 8 gigabytes of DDR5 super fast RAM. Performance is obscene. Cost is obscene. I paid way too much Canadian for this. Basically, it was $909 was the retail price, and that's before tax. So just shy of $1,000 after tax. I also purchased myself one of these. Gaming mechanical keyboard. This is the Corsair, a Logitech keyboard. I had the G105, which, you know, had great LED backlit. It was red. Red vision, or red LED doesn't ruin your night vision, so I always prefer red. It's when I was doing a lot of amateur astronomy, you always try to look for red light because it doesn't ruin that night vision for when you're looking for faint objects, right? But anyways, in the 80s, people actually tried to move away from mechanical keyboards. Now there seems this renaissance back to mechanical keyboards, and I get that. One thing mechanical keyboards were always good at, specifically ones with cherry switches, which is what arcade machines use too, is they are blindingly fast. So yes, they got a bit of a clicky nature, and it's a sound. Mechanical keyboards have a sound that you just kind of got to get used to because it's definitely not stealthy. But anyways, here it is. So that's the Corsair with the slanted ramp, and yeah, let's talk about the 1080 really quick in terms of my HTC Vive. All right. So positives. Well, let's talk about a negative first. You spend almost $1,000 on a card like this. You would think they would throw in at least one DisplayPort adapter, right? No, You get an 8-pin Molex adapter, but other than that, there's nothing. So I was stuck last night having to constantly crawl under my desk to replace my TV and HDMI cable from my Vive. Thankfully today, went to the NCIX computer store, bought 2 HDMI, display to HDMI, and one regular display size, not mini display port, or on the back of the 1080 that I have, 2 DVI. So 1 to DVI, 2 to HDMI. Love it. Every single port in my card is used and works, so I don't have to go constantly behind my desk and switch out cables. Like even with the R9 290, so typically what I would do is I would connect to a couple of monitors, right? And then I'd have an HDMI for the TV, but then if I wanted the HDMI for the HTC Vive, I would have to swap it out. No longer. Now I can kind of keep them all on one card. So that will be great. But performance-wise, wow. Let's just say I'm going to be Team Green for a while, because the 1080 absolutely blew the living hell out of the R9 290. Like, blew it out of the water. Not even close. Put it this way, Elite Dangerous, which is my favorite VR game right now, all right, actually looks gorgeous. Like, I think what a lot of people were thinking was an HTC Vive issue is really not an HTC Vive issue. It's a graphic card issue, because the R9 290, right, running with the HTC Vive, running Elite Dangerous, it was blurry. It didn't look very anti-aliased, like, and basically anything you did to crank it up, you know, like I think 1.5 or 1.0 was the setting I had to have for, oh, what the hell was the setting? Anyways, I can max almost everything on my 1080, and Elite Dangerous just looks crisp, it looks clear, it looks amazing. It's exactly what I was hoping for. And then you get the cool little side benefit stuff. Like, I can't wait to, you know, install something as simple as Skyrim, right? Because I can do all those 4K mods now. There's a Skyrim overhaul, I think Skyrim beautification or whatever, 2015 guide, which shows you what you can do to basically make Skyrim a whole new game. I'll be able to do that now. But there's going to be lots of Elite Dangerous tonight with the HTC Vive. What else did I check out on it, Vive related? Just some of the other games that I have. So there's a couple of RPGs. Vanishing Realms is an RPG that I'm playing right now. Absolutely cranked and just looks gorgeous on the 1080. So I can highly, highly recommend this card. If what you are looking for is absolute and total VR frame rate improvement, and you're coming from an R9 290 like me, or hell, a 780 or a 980 Ti even, you are going to benefit from this. The only thing more obscene is probably 2 of these, but I think this is the first generation where I'm probably going to skip SLI. I'm just going to stick with a single card solution, and when something comes along that can offer me slightly more like single card performance of what 2 of these would be in SLI, then I'll just upgrade again, because honestly, I didn't benefit from Crossfire on the R9 290s at all. Not near as much as I did with the 660 Ti's. So I expect good things from this card. So far, I love it. It's spun up a few times the fan, but all in all, it uses way less power than my other ones. And I have a 1300 watt power supply. So that power supply was basically for the R9 290s, and it's complete overkill for this card. But hey, power is power, right? So there we have it, guys. If you have any questions, you want me to do any kind of specific testing for you, I've got pretty much every single HTC Vive VR game out right now, and I have a 1080. So I'd be happy to do any kind of testing you want. You want any kind of benchmarks, frame rates, I'd be happy to do that. In fact, I'm going to have an upcoming video dealing with Elite Dangerous specifically with the HTC Vive. All right? As always, guys, till next time, cheers.